Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah.
Is the idea that if some illegal immigrants escape, they just get eaten by an alligator or a snake or something?
I guess that's the concept. This is not a nice business.
And with the
I
Alligator
guess that's the concept.
Alcatraz,
If
is the idea
snakes are bad, but alligators are bad. We're going to teach them how to run away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison. How to run away. Don't run in a straight line. Run like this. And you know what? Your chances go up about 1%. Okay? Not a good thing.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. Thank you to everybody that will tune in later. This is the Developing Dad Podcast. And we got some stuff to talk about today. So, yes, let's get straight to it. So, old President Donald J is giving free lessons on how to effectively escape what is being termed Alligator Alcatraz. All right, what's going on, Brother Caleb Collins? I got your message, and your video will be making an appearance in today's episode. I added it in at the last minute, brother. I had to. All right, so I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Alligator Alcatraz is all the rage. Everybody's up in arms about it. We're going to talk about it. It's being called a concentration camp, modern day slavery. Yes, we're going to talk about Diddy. We're going to talk about Jimmy Swaggart. We're going to talk about some ninja fatigue. We're going to talk about some loony leftist fatigue. We got some stuff to handle. All right. So, yeah, this is going to be a good episode. Let's buckle in. All right. We're hoping to get some engagement as you come in. If you could like the video, I will shout you out if you come in early enough. All right. So, we're going to talk about old Alligator Alcatraz, all right? And it has been making the rounds. This is the facility from the inside. Let's take a look at it, all right? It says that it was built in 8 days. Wow. Pretty impressive. Built in 8 days, right? So, you know, the detention center looks beds. Just a processing center for those who are going to be deported. But, you know, everybody's really up in arms about this. I don't remember slave quarters looking this good or concentration camps looking this good from, you know, if you go visit Auschwitz and the like. But, I mean, hey, you know, the layout looks like it's pretty secure, right? This Alligator Alcatraz. We're going to talk a little bit about it, but that's what it looks like, right? This is the visual layout is that it's a place where you won't be able to get in and out of easily, right? It's on Google Maps as well. So that, you know, they're doing their thing, right? Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. Now, where do they get the money to build this? Because that's, you know, as a tax-paying citizen, this is a federal deportation detention center. So where did they get? Apparently, Trump got this money from a very interesting place. Let's listen into where he said he got this, how he was able to fund this.
And it's a great honor to be deep in Florida, the Florida Everglades, to open America's newest migrant detention center. It's incredibly built, and you're seeing that yourself. That's why I said, let the press join us on our walk so they can see what's happening. It's known as Alligator Alcatraz, which is very appropriate because I looked outside and that's not a place I want to go hiking anytime soon. But very soon this facility will house some of the most menacing migrants, some of the most vicious people on the planet. We're surrounded by miles of treacherous swampland, and the only way out is really deportation. And a lot of these people are self-deporting back to their country where they came from. Quite a few. We're amazed at actually the number. We took the FEMA money that Joe Biden allocated to pay for the free luxury hotel rooms, where he's paying hundreds of millions of dollars in New York City, and we used it to build this project. And Iran was just a little fraction of that money, the money they spent on that. And it's
So apparently, Joe and the people were about to paper up the migrants with luxury hotels, and in to stick around, and in a complete 180, that money is now being used to send their selves home. right? That's a good thing, right? I mean, I think that's a good thing. Maybe some people disagree. Let me know if you disagree in the comments. But I think that it's a good thing that we are getting rid of these migrants. I'm all for it. All right. So, but that's an interesting thing. And speaking of Biden, right? Speaking of Biden, the one thing I like about Trump is his wit. He's always ready. What's going on? Infinitely Random and Twisted Streaming. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. So he's always ready with the one-liners, right? And that's one of the things I really like about Trump. He's even in his his old age, he is old, but still he has a sharp wit.
I think our viewers at home should note that this is air-conditioned facility, so if any of the news claims they're keeping them out in the hot, humid South Florida, that is wrong. It's probably 62 degrees here.
To be honest.
Or 72.
Hey, Biden wanted me in here, okay? He wanted me. It didn't work out that way, but he wanted me in here. That son of a bitch.
Oh man, come on. Yes. What's going on, Killer Diller 420? Yes. All right. Thank you, Infinitely Random. I appreciate you. Yes. Thank you for tuning in, Killer Diller 420. Now, we have I absolutely love it when Trump drops those one-liners like that. You can tell he thinks well on his feet. And the left hates it because they are continually being shown to be losers. Like they're losing day by day. And Trump keeps winning victory after victory after victory. And these people they have derangement syndrome over him. Right? Now, the left would have you believe that these are slave quarters, that they're akin to the chattel slavery housing of the 1800s. Right? But look at these. It's an air-conditioned facility. There are nice beds there. Right? You're not going to get a luxury hotel. But to say that you came into a country illegally and you're one of the more dangerous criminals, they're housing those people there. This is actually a pretty decent setup. They're getting better than they deserve, for the most part, right? I'd put them back on a boat and be like, you fare however you fare. Dump them out in the middle somewhere and just be like, hey, just get out of here, right? Yeah. I mean, look, they have a lot of nerve coming over here and then expecting all kinds of amenities. And I'm grateful that Trump is actually taking the money that was supposed to be used to give them all of these amenities to house them on their way back to wherever they came from. Just go ahead on, get on out of here, right? Get on out of here. All right. So let's keep looking now. Looking at some more stuff. Okay. Now, the gauntlet has been laid down to all of the red state governors, right? Because Florida was able to get this done in 8 days. Let me pull this back a little bit.
Go to every Republican state. Now, of course, in a sane country, Democrats would do it too, but they love the illegals. They hate the Americans. We want every governor of a red state, and if you're watching tonight, pick up the phone, call DHS, work with us to build facilities in your state so that we can get the illegals out, we can get the criminals out. And also, very importantly, Laura, we need Congress to pass the big, beautiful bill which contains the funding that ICE desperately needs to carry out the mass deportation agenda.
Now, we reach out to other states, Stephen, and a lot of them are open to helping. Alaska told us that we don't have alligators, but we have lots of bears. However, they aren't aware of any plans for an Alaska version of bear. I said bear Alcatraz. So, Stephen, there's good news there. I
want to go.
All right. And so, again, we're laying down the gauntlet, right? Those who voted for Trump. We want this. We want deportations to happen at a record pace. Just like the importing of illegals happened at a record pace, we want the opposite to happen. Just as fast as they came in, we want them out. Now, we obviously know that it's going to take longer than that, but we need our governors to follow in Ron DeSantis's footsteps and give Trump everything he needs to make this happen. Okay, specifically the red states, because we know that the blue states are going to do everything they can to fight this. They're going to try to make sure that it looks bad on Trump so that the midterms, it won't be favorable for those who Trump endorses. We know that this is the political play. This is what they do. Every 2 years, this same fight happens over and over and over and over again, right? But for those of us who voted for Donald Trump, we want to see swift action. So people are asking the question, is this what we voted for? Well, the answer is absolutely yes, right? Because look at this. All right. So under Joe Biden, a 95-year-old veteran was kicked out of his home to make room for illegal aliens. Under President Trump, criminal illegal aliens will be housed in Alligator Alcatraz. This is exactly what we voted for. Exactly. This man serves his country, gets kicked out for illegal aliens. But
they did to the people in Island Shores. They gave us time to get out, but they never said when, and they never said they were going to get us out. And then one day, there's a thing on the board, a notice on the board, you gotta be out by March 15th. I think that gave us like a month and a half to find out where we're gonna go. I thought my suitcases were going to be on the curb because I'm not that fast. If it wasn't for my daughter, they would have been on the curb. But that's what it happened, and that was it. I said, no, you're not moving me. And they said, yes, we are. And everything was done behind closed doors. Yeah. And we didn't have a chance to actually make any attempt to stop them because there wasn't enough time.
Right. So if you can watch this, someone who actually served the country, this old gentleman here, veteran, and your heart is moved more towards the immigrant who came over here illegally that wants to subvert the Constitution and everything that America stands for. When this man put his life on the line for American values. Now, obviously, we know that most of you who are here now have been, you're leftist. You've been indoctrinated into American hatred while you breathe the air of freedom that America has offers you. We understand that you live in this bubble of pampered existence, and you think that all of this is just a given. But you actually, if you would read a book like, like this one, right, America's Hidden Christian History, or A Patriot's Guide to the United States history, you would realize that people fought and died for this country, that it didn't just happen. You didn't wake up one morning and more freedom. And that you get to just take advantage of it. That people fought and died, that they persevered through hardship to make this happen. And I specifically, as a descendant of slaves, want to see this country remain free because my ancestors had to be the ones who were freed last, and they believed in the American dream so much so that they stayed here and learned to read, began to grow in wealth and status after slavery. These are the types of things that America would provide for them, that if you go over to Africa, had we been left there, who knows how we would have turned out. There's so much wrong with the way these people think. So I look at this man and I think, well, I'm grateful that he sacrificed for the freedoms that I enjoy today. And as we come come upon Independence Day, we need to be reminded of that fact. So everybody wants to push the 1619 Project and, oh, hate America, hate America, hate America, while they enjoy the freedom, prosperity, and liberty that only America provides. The freedom to talk that nonsense constantly in the face of the freedom that you have. You hate the freedom that you have. You hate the prosperity as you're online with your phone. Like all of you who are hating America on these cell phones that are watching me currently, right? All of the prosperity that America provides. You have internet service. You're able to spout this nonsense that you believe with no threat of someone coming and storming your house and taking you to an actual Alcatraz. All right. And so you have to make up problems. You have to make up problems. There's the Alligator Alcatraz. Oh no, this great air-conditioned place where they're going to be housed a little while they go over back to the country of their origin. Oh no, it's like slavery, says people who've never been slaves. It's like a concentration camp, whose people who can't concentrate on a thought for more than 2 seconds. You need to go to a concentration camp. You can't. All the lies. I mean, this is the liberal, right, theme song, right? Why you always lying? That's it. That's all they do. They just lie. Again, so look, y'all think I'm making this up? Here we go. We got to talk. Where is she? Here we go. Joy Reid. Y'all know Joy. Come on. Here we go.
Ron DeSantis is still governor of Florida. He took the Comfy Couch hosts on a tour of the concentration camp that he's building in Florida in order to round up brown people, and throw them in a camp because he doesn't want them in Florida. Surprise, surprise, the economy of Florida is going to be severely harmed by rounding up brown people who, by the way, all over this country, Latinos are afraid to go to work. Anybody who is perceived or looks Latino is afraid to go to work. I know people who are trying to forget about him, but Ron DeSantis is still governor.
So everybody's now they're afraid to go to work. Why? If you're legal, why are you afraid to go to work? Why are you afraid to go to work? I'm black. I'm not afraid to go to work. Now I work from home, so it's not. But I'll do have a job. I do have a job, right? So, unfortunately, these are all lies. It's not a concentration camp. You could go and look at some pictures of a concentration camp and compare. This is not this nice air-conditioned facility with nice clean beds. It's the exact opposite of a concentration camp. People are being processed there and being moved back to their country. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Concentration camp. Hold on. Let's look it up. A camp where persons are confined, usually without hearings, and typically under harsh conditions, often as a result of their membership in a group the government has identified as suspect. A place or situation characterized by extremely harsh conditions, like air conditioning and comfortable beds. Oh, right. Prisoners of war, political prisoners. These people are not prisoners. They're about to be sent back to their home. Ask Auschwitz, members of Auschwitz, if this is like anybody that survived Auschwitz. Take them there and see if they think, oh yeah, this is a concentration camp. Or the Japanese during World War II. Oh yeah, these were concentration camps. I just go and find the definitions for you guys. I mean, people ask the questions, so I just go and find the definitions. If you want to play fast and loose with the definition of concentration camp, sure. Sure. Yeah, I know. The Auschwitz people are gone. That's one of the reasons why they can do this. Because most of the people who actually experienced the concentration camp aren't here to dismantle this lie. Where you could interview them and say, oh no, that's comfortable, right? There are veterans who are homeless, living worse than the people that are going to be at Alligator Alcatraz. Miss us with that. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. If you like what you're seeing, like the video. If you hate what you're seeing, dislike the video. Either way, come on. USA. All right. Yes, I do love my country. I love living here. There's nowhere else I would want to live. I know that makes me sound crazy. All right. That's a black man. It's a black man that, wow, you really like America? You're not afraid of white supremacy, right? White supremacy. Right? I mean, you mean you don't wake up every morning, right? You don't wake up every morning thinking about how the white man is keeping you down. Actually, no, I don't. I wasn't taught to live like that. I wasn't taught to think that way. I was taught that I could accomplish whatever I put my mind to, like lots of other people in this country. Like lots of other people of various different ethnic backgrounds. I was taught that. I wasn't taught that just because my skin is black, that I'm somehow deficient. I wasn't taught that. I'm sorry. I've been a software engineer for 25 years, have been placed in management or asked to be on a management track to becoming a CEO of a company. Yeah, these are things that I've done in my life. I've learned 4 instruments. I don't really look. I put this podcast together in about 30 minutes. Get some stuff together, pay the subscriptions, do this because I want to make money doing podcasting because it's something I enjoy doing. I got monetized. I set goals and I try to accomplish them like normal people. I'm familiar with Linux. Yes. I've used Linux in the past. Now I'm mostly Mac OS, but my goodness, I've learned multiple programming languages. C, C++, C#, JavaScript, Perl, Prolog. These are things that I do because I've never been taught that I couldn't do it. I'm reading Latin. These are some things like what my children are at this moment composing classical scores. They're from 14 to 9. We're telling them the same thing. You can do whatever you put your mind to. My son grows his own watermelon and eggplant and whatever he desires to do. Fig tree outside. Eggplant, all of this. But all of this means that, right?
And you ain't black.
That I ain't black. Right? That means I ain't black because I like to do these things. That's what people have told me my entire life. That I'm acting white. Like, okay, I don't really care. Right? I don't care. It is what it is. I mean, you just have to. Essentially, you have to let it go in one ear and out of the other. So you don't become like the Joy Reids of the world. Bound by their skin color. Bound by their ethnicity. And believing the lie that they can't accomplish things because they're black. Oh, there's a glass ceiling. Except Obama was president. The leader of the free world. I mean, we have black Supreme Court justices. Black heads of state. I mean, what do we do? Do we just believe the lie? And we got black leftists grifting and making themselves rich off of the black community at breakneck speeds. Anything is possible in this country if you're black. You can be a race hustler and make hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. Look at Al Sharpton. Look at Jesse Jackson. Look at Jamal Bryant. Right? You can do all kind of stuff in America. You can be a talentless hack and make it in America. These people are insane. They're insane, right? And again, TDS is real, y'all. TDS is absolutely real, right? Whew, these people. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this Trump derangement and what it's doing to people. Because Joy Reid is one, she's just, my goodness. Thank you, everybody that's tuning in. If you could get those likes up, right? We could get to 50% likes. We got 500 people watching. If we get the likes up to 200, that'd be awesome. So if you haven't liked the video, subscribe and like. Thank you. Thank you. And even if you don't like it, thumbs down. I don't care, right? But listen to Joy. She is at they say TDS stage 5.
It's a question of whether the Supreme Court is going to do more than what Mr. Ogles would like to do to Mr. Mamdani, meaning take away his citizenship. And he's a naturalized citizen. Mr. Ogles would like to reverse that so that he can be deported. But this aggressive move to deport any brown or black person that this regime can get their hands on in order to meet Stephen Miller's 3,000 brown person a day quota. They have a literal quota that ICE is required to meet, which is the reason why they are stopping and frisking particularly brown people, but brown and black people anywhere they
can find them. This is essentially the same thing Joe Biden said, right?
They're going to put y'all back in chains.
They're going to put y'all back in chains. This is the left's playbook. Fear mongering. Ad hominem. TDS is Trump derangement syndrome. Ad hominem, fear tactics. Well, ad baculum, which is the technical Latin fallacy. Ad baculum. To the stick. To fear. Right? The appeal to fear. And fear is a great motivator. It'll make you do some really stupid things, like vote for Kamala Harris.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
When she says she ain't going to do anything for black people still, over 90%. Come on. They voted for her, right? Who's actually in a cult when it's 90% of black people without thinking just hand their votes over to Democrats every 4 years? Who's actually in a cult? Right. I vacillate between Constitution Party, Libertarian, and Republican. And the past 2 times has been Donald Trump. And when I say Republican, I mean Donald Trump. Because these other Republicans, these rhinos and the like, are going to have to prove to me that they're America first. They may never get another one of my votes if they don't do the same things that Donald Trump is doing, or some very similar things, or push the envelope even further to get us out of this situation that we're in, right? Don't forget to like the video. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. Super chats will be placed on the screen automatically, right? If anybody super chats, no matter what the amount, it will show up just like the subscriptions are showing up at the bottom. I appreciate you, and I will address any super chats, but I also put on the screen comments from moderators and long-time supporters and subscribers of the channel. But she's saying that they're rounding up black and brown people left and right, whoever they can get their hands on to get those numbers up. That's it. Essentially the same thing that
they're going to put y'all back in chains.
That's the mindset. The mindset is that we've got to keep these darkies in constant fear of the Republicans so that they'll continue to vote for us. The playbook has been established. It has been run every 2 to 4 years. And black people, for the life of me, have continued to fall prey to it over and over and over again. And we still have nothing tangible that we can say Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who's liking. Yes. So we've seen this, and that many black people are waking up. They're tired of the house ninjas like Joy Reid and Al Sharpton and Roland Martin and the like, telling us that the Republican is the boogeyman. The Republicans don't have to lift a finger to destroy the black community. We're doing just fine by ourselves. If they really wanted to destroy us, they could just keep letting the Democrats do what the Democrats do. Margaret Sanger, I say it every episode, Margaret Sanger, we don't want the word to get out that we want to exterminate the Negro race, so we need to get some of the black preachers and leaders to quell or squelch that idea if any of their more rebellious members get wind of it. And now the left puts Planned Parenthoods in low-income neighborhoods, and we have the Raphael Warnocks of the world supporting the woman's right to choose. Right? Malcolm X said that the white liberal, is the black America's greatest enemy. For those of you all that are talking about Malcolm X, I'll pull up the clip. The white liberal is, because it's a fox. They're the fox. They're going to, with cunning, make you think that they're your friend while they're using you for political gain. You're a consistent voting block that they can count on, and they don't have to give you much to get you to keep coming back. Stockholm syndrome. They keep knocking you out every 4 years, every 2 to 4 years, knocking you to the back of the line for the LGBTQ, for illegal immigrants. Who's going to be next? Huh? When will you get it? When will you get that you're not getting reparations in the form of cash payments? When will you get that they're going to put illegal immigrants in your low income neighborhoods, pushing you out to the margins because they got you. They own you. You're slaves to the Democrat Party. You're on a plantation. But then all they have to do, they try to tell us, those of us who don't vote Democrat, that you on the coat, you on plantation, you are Uncle Ruckus, or you're Uncle Tom, right? Uncle Ruckus, no relation. Y'all are funny. It's insane that y'all really believe that these people, that the name calling and the gaslighting will continue to work on us. We're laughing at you now because you're a part of a party that has completely lost its mind and lost its way because they've lied to you for so long. They don't even know how to keep the lies straight anymore. They're trying to continue to paper up the immigrants in front of your face and tell you, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. No, we're not really doing that. We love you, black guys. We love you. We love y'all blackies. We want y'all to be, we want y'all to keep on, come on. Keep on shucking and jiving to them polls every 2 to 4 years and give us that 90%. That's what we want y'all to do. And y'all keep doing it. Like yes, massa. Yes, massa, sir. Yes, massa. Right? Every 2 to 4 years. And it never changes. It never changes. Your communities aren't getting smarter. The Department of Education has failed you. Your schools are getting worse. Right? You're being pushed to the margins by illegal immigrants. Your cities, which are Democrat run and black run, are in deficits. Right? But it's all Republicans' fault. It's all Republicans' fault. It's all Republicans' fault. But TDS is real. It's real. All right. So look at this. This acute case of TDS. Look at this. This was Kathy Griffin before TDS, after TDS. Remember, she held the severed head of Donald Trump on that in like 2016 and whatnot. This woman is, she has gone off the deep end. Jealousy and hatred is poisoning these people. And they can't get out of this. They can't get out of the hatred. Yes. I don't understand. Wow. Thank you, traditional guy. I appreciate you. But it's unbelievable. Right? Oh, yes. Joseph Stalin says the chat has crippling TDS. I know. But I expect that every time, I get online, if I have anything to say about Donald Trump and I do a live, I expect that. It is what it is, right? People come in with the same tired insults and the same twisted logic. And I'm like, okay, we've talked about this for so long. It's not even worth entertaining these people anymore, right? But the best thing that we can do is to continue to support Trump when he wins and point out the successes, and then be honest when there are things like, I think a week ago when I had some reservations about the Iran-Israel conflict. I was wondering, okay, are you doing this for Israel? Because I am not a Zionist and I do not believe that we should be doing whatever Israel wants us to do. But it looks like we won't be in a prolonged conflict. So I'm like, all right. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm willing to do that. Okay? I'm willing to do that, to give him the benefit of the doubt. If he proves me right, okay, great. If he proves me wrong, okay, great. I'm watching his presidency because, again, I voted for him the past 2 times. This was the first time in my life I've ever voted for Republican. Every other time since I converted, I've voted for a third party. So since 2012, I've been voting third party. Yeah, 2012, right? So this is new for me, right? Being on board with a Republican candidate, but there are things about Trump that I liked, and I thought at this time we needed a strong leader like him to push back against the lunacy of the left. As the left goes further and further into fascism and to authoritarianism and socialism. And thank you, super chat from Traditional Guy. You got a nice name there, Traditional Guy. Appreciate you. Thank you. Yes. So as they become more authoritarian and they try to use lawfare against their political opponents, I said, no, we can't do this. We are not going to continue to. I'm not going to continue to watch them try to destroy Trump. And if I don't do anything or don't say anything or don't push back against it, then I'm going to be guilty of allowing this regime to destroy free speech, to destroy America, erode the foundations, right? Yeah. So all right, so we've got let's see. Oh yeah, we got another TDS sufferer here. Right, this young lady has some problems. And next, we're going to move on to the Diddy verdict. We're going to talk about this, right? Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Now, notice. Yeah, here we go. She's going to tell you what's going to happen if she sees you wearing some Alligator Alcatraz merch.
I will be in jail if I see somebody wearing an Alligator Alcatraz shirt or any type of merch. It is a concentration camp, and using that language matters. It is a concentration camp. It really does. And we're acting like it's an amusement park. It's disgusting. I will be in jail if I see somebody wearing an Alligator Alcatraz shirt.
Yeah, so she's willing to go to jail over this. And she's absolutely right. Using those words matter. Calling it a concentration camp matters. It is a part of the liberal playbook, which they've gotten You can see it outlined in the book After the Ball, How America Will Get Over Its Fear of Gays in the 90s. Hey, look at that. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Gifting of one membership. All right. I love it. I love it. Thank you, A. Johnson. All right. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Now, that matters. And look, you got Moses to come back as a member, right? I don't know how it chooses who gets the membership, right? But welcome back, Moses. Moses has it. Okay. So, it's absolutely correct. She's absolutely correct. Jamming, desensitization, and conversion. Okay? So that's the three-pronged attack when people want to take down logical argumentation. All right? Jamming is they associate you with the worst of the worst, right? Nazi, Hitler, Uncle Tom, Coon, sellout, whatever. They'll call you names. It's essentially ad hominem. The next is desensitization. They put images in front of you that desensitize you to it, right? The mother crying over her baby at the border, right? That you're going to see that over and over and over again. And then they convert you. You're not going to become an illegal immigrant, but you will become a supporter, or you will be quiet because you don't want to be jammed, and you've been desensitized. Okay, so that's the three-pronged playbook. Whenever you see that happening, keep your eyes and ears open. When they call you names, you got to let it roll off your back. Okay, when they try to desensitize you, you've got to harden your heart to a certain degree, because that's propaganda. You've got to have a clear perspective on what you believe, and you have to, and don't be swayed by your emotion. That is the ad misericordiam, an appeal to pity. Don't let it happen. They're going to try to do that. Okay, over the next few years, they're going to try to continue to push those images in front of your face, right? And then concentration camp, calling it that, and then conversion, right? And then you'll be the type that won't say anything. You'll just let it. Hey, you know what? It's not that bad. We should have compassion about illegal immigrants. They're just people who are looking for a great life here, right? Yes, empathy should not play a part in public policy. We should do what is best for the nation, right? Okay, that's one of the reasons why we should have a strong man leading the country, right? Because we'll be dispassionate and make the correct decisions, most likely. That's why, as the leader of my house, I have to take into account the best thing that's going to, and the people in my house may not agree with my decision, but I have to look at them and say, I think this is what's best for you. You may not agree with it, because my kids don't agree with every decision that I make. Guess what? If I was empathetic with every decision that I made with my family, my kids wouldn't be able to play 3 or 4 instruments now, and be able to speak foreign languages, and be able to do math at a plus grade level, and have conversations with adults about endothermic reactions and biology and all these other things, right? They can have conversations with adults. If I was empathetic, and every time you know what? It doesn't feel good. Oh, my goodness. Then they would be fat, lazy, useless. Like a lot of leftists. That's what it is. But I'm not trying to raise kids like that. So every decision will not be made based upon empathy. It's not going to be. No. You all people have conditioned you to believe that that's the best way to make decisions because of empathy. No, sir. Absolutely not. We reject that premise outright. Yes, thank you, Pinkerton. I appreciate you. First time watcher, really enjoying the pod. Keep preaching that common sense. Yeah, it really is. It used to be common. Ain't too common anymore, unfortunately. Is that a baseball jersey that you got there? Yeah. So, thank you to everybody that's subscribing. Thank you to everybody that is liking. I appreciate that. Let's keep the engagement up. So she's going to go to jail. She's willing to go to jail for her beliefs, right? So, yeah. I guess that is what it is. Now, I'm going to show you all what the rundown looks like. We just finished this section, all right? We just finished this section here, okay? Oh, there's one other thing. Oh, wait, I got to talk about this, right? Yes, 2 other things, right? 2 other things from this one. We got the rundown. The rundown is coming, right? Okay? Now, And I know some of you don't understand how a show runs, but I have a rundown and have a show that I'm doing, right? I know you want to be the star of the show, but you're not. Essentially, Trump is right now. Trump is the star of the show right now. All right. So let's keep talking about Trump. All right. Because he's interesting. And the people in the chat that keep asking me to debate them, you're not interesting. Right. I mean, I don't know. Right. Here we go. All right. So look at what Trump is saying here. OK. All right. Yes. And I just want you to know, yeah, I see you. I'm just ignoring you. All right. So Trump says he'll redo the U.S. Census to erase. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Sorry. I clicked the wrong thing. Right. Erase undocumented immigrants from the population count all before the 2026 midterms. This is political engineering, this person. Now, he's an anti-Trumper, right? Because if you can't win fairly, you gerrymander the scoreboard and deport the audience, right? This is how authoritarianism metastasizes quietly, systematically, one recount at a time. Thank you, the Unity Church, Valley, Alabama. I appreciate you. Thank you. See, look, I'm going to put that one up there. I like that one. Come on. That's what we're talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. All right. Now, let's keep going. So this is the problem. Whenever the left starts talking again, we said it. Why you always lying? This is exactly what they did. They're projecting. He's projecting what the left did onto Trump. The left flooded these states with illegal and undocumented immigrants. Why? In order to gain more political influence, because their electoral votes are based on population size, regardless of citizenry. So who actually did the authoritarian thing? They essentially have given us their playbook. Yes, this is what we did. And we don't like the fact that Trump is trying to undo it. Look you
can't make this up.
You can't. Every time they talk. What's going on? Thank you. I'm not going to say your name, but I will put your super chat. All right. I love your honesty and how you handle the Marxists in the chat. Yeah, just ignore them. I mean, that's what I do every episode. I appreciate you. Yeah, because they really think that they're that important. And I'm just like, well, you're here on my channel. I'm not here. I'm not going to your channel. I don't watch his channel. I don't know if he has one. Don't care. He's not that interesting. This is not a debate show. Like I said, I have a rundown and I have 2 hours. Why would I waste my time on him? Right? He can go find a debate somewhere else. Go ahead. All right. Go ahead. This is not a debate show. All right. The only way I would let someone come on to the show is if they super chatted $100 or more. Now, if they really want it that bad, super chat $100 or more, and then I'll send you the link, and you can come on. All right. Now, so, all right. Now, they're doing this thing right here because if you can't win fairly, you gerrymander the scoreboard. That's exactly what the left has been doing for years and years and years. Okay. And that's how they were able to win multiple times, right? That's how they were able to get health care passed, get the redefinition of marriage, because they continued, right? They continued to bring in illegal aliens, right? So that's it. So they're telling us exactly what they were doing. Now, we've been talking about this gentleman. What's his name? Zoran Mamdani, right? This socialist that wants to bring New York down to its knees, essentially. All right,
Mr. President, your beloved New York City
Your beloved New York City may well be led by a communist soon, Zorhan Mandami, who in his nomination speech said he will defy ICE and will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zorhan Mandami?
Well, then we'll have to arrest him.
I like that they put that. Now I'm probably going to have to erase the song, but you know, I'll get the notification about an hour after the live ends. Video could not be monetized because of that little bitty piece of song, right? Right. So, but yeah, he'll have to arrest him. He's not above the law. What does he think that he will be able to? What needs to start happening is these governors, mayors, and the like that don't follow the laws that we've been given Trump the mandate to enact and to enforce. What's going on? Thank you for the super chat. Right? I don't know. That's a yeah. I don't know. I may do a show about it. We'll talk about that on a future episode. I'm going to put that in my list, and I'm going to make sure that we talk about that. All right. Okay. Because I generally don't like to give thoughts on something that I'm not, that I haven't researched. And, you know, because again, if you go off half-cocked on something that you haven't researched, then you're liable to put your foot in your mouth. And I generally try not to do that. Right. I don't know if you all know this, but before I come on, I like to do some research about the topic that I'm going to be discussing so that I can have some facts, some data and statistics, right, and support the arguments that I'm making. All right. So now, if ICE is coming into New York to remove illegal aliens, and the mayor of New York tries to subvert their efforts, then they're breaking the law. So, yeah, right? And he should be arrested. He should absolutely be arrested. All right? Now, we got to talk about the Diddy trial verdict. All right? So, I don't know if any of you have been following the Diddy trial, but let's get rid of some of these. Yeah, some of these tabs. We're getting rid of some of these tabs because we don't want to slow down things too much. All right, here we go. We're going to talk a little bit about this. We've got the verdict video. Yes. Yeah. All right, let's see. Oh, where is it? Here it is. Okay. All right. So we're going to listen into the verdict video. Oh, wait. Sorry. Here we go. All right.
The first verdict on count 1, racketeering conspiracy. How do you find the defendant not guilty? And so now they'll move on to count 2. Count 2, how do you find the defendant not guilty? That is the sex trafficking of Cassandra Ventura. On count 3, which is Mann Act transportation involving Cassie Ventura, guilty. Count 4, sex trafficking of Jane, not guilty. Count 5, Mann Act transportation of Jane, guilty. So a mixed verdict here. Not guilty on 3 of the charges, guilty on 2 of the charges. Lisa, your reaction first.
So 3 not guilty, 2 guilty, right? So the transportation charges, he's guilty on those, and on the more serious charges, racketeering, trafficking, not guilty. Okay. Now, do I believe that? I mean, personally, I don't have any skin in this game. I didn't follow the trial closely. I followed it from afar, and I would listen to an update every now and then. But the things that I heard made me believe that, yes, Diddy is immoral and a scumbag, but the burden of proof was obviously on the state to find him guilty of racketeering and trafficking, and the jury came back saying no, that he wasn't. Now he got off to a certain degree, and some people are making that claim. Now here were the possible sentences that he could have, maximum sentences for all of the charges. Okay, so he could have been sentenced to the racketeering, maximum sentence of life, the trafficking, maximum sentence of life, mandatory minimum of 15. Okay, and then transportation, maximum of 10, and both of those maximum of 10. Right. So he's probably going to get somewhere, 10 years. He's been denied bail. Right. But I like to, let's see, where's the, he's been denied bail. So let's take a look at that. All right. He's been denied bail. So he's not getting out.
Breaking news, the judge in the Sean Diddy Combs trial has just rather shockingly denied him bail. This, of course, coming after the news that the jury convicted him of 2 of the lesser charges in the government's case against him, finding him not guilty of the 3 biggest and most consequential charges. Do we have Elizabeth Wagmeister yet? Okay, so let's get straight to CNN's Elizabeth Wagmeister, who's outside the court, along with Laura Coates. Laura, this is a surprising development. What are we learning? What are the judge's reasons for not letting him out?
Well, we are still learning all the reasons why the judge has denied bail to Sean Diddy Combs pending his sentence.
We're back with our breaking news. The judge.
All right, so he's been denied bail. Now, unfortunately, that means he's got to stay in jail. He's got to stay in jail for a while. So, yeah. Now, I want to listen to some of the responses, right? one of my subscribers sent this to me. Okay, right now we're not going to show. Well, we might show it. It depends. Let's listen in. So,
no, instead, I kid you not, people are pouring baby oil on one another outside this courthouse.
Listen to that again.
Proper and etiquette that is happening inside of a courtroom. No, instead, I kid you not, people are pouring baby oil on one another outside this courthouse. Baby oil having a very big play in the freak-offs we heard about.
So people were outside pouring baby oil on each other. Now, I'm all right. Oh man, like this is them outside being as ratchet as possible, right? This is insanity, right? So you want to see why people have ninja fatigue? It's because of this kind of stuff. And then Boosie decides that he's going to get online, right? And he's going to give his 2 cents about why he thinks this is a good thing. Great day in hip hop.
Man, I'm so glad Diddy free, bro. You know, the reason is because I'm tired of seeing us black moguls get took down like that, bro. Like, and I'm tired of seeing us black people go against us black moguls like that. And I feel like if Diddy was a white man who done all this shit for people, you know, I know he ain't paid people, but if he done all this shit for hip hop, if he was white, they would have had so many white people out there protesting for this man. losing his life behind a relationship, you know. And people always Boosie was on Diddy's side. Nah, it ain't that. It's because I'm thinking about 7 children. Y'all thinking about one person. I'm thinking about these 7 kids who been in my kid's position. Not knowing if your daddy gonna come home or not is a burden on the child. So all y'all was like, no, I'm thinking about them damn children, man.
Was Diddy thinking about his churn when he was having these freak offs? Was Diddy thinking about his churn when he was beating on Cassie? Not knowing if your daddy's gonna come home. Well, you can say that about police officers, but y'all don't seem to care about police officers in the black community, even black police officers. Y'all don't seem to care about service people that could not come home to their loved ones if they're deployed. Y'all don't seem to care about that. But it's the black, because he's a black mogul, right? It's churn, right? But because he's a black mogul, he feels for him. Pay no attention to the debauchery and the degrading passions and the things that have come out about Diddy during the discovery and during the trial. Diddy apparently didn't think about his children when he was doing those things. So why should it all be about thinking about his churn now? Why? Apparently he didn't think about it. So there's a reason why I don't do the whole, I don't go to freak offs and I don't engage in that type of behavior. One, it's immoral, and it puts you in a position to be around people who could take you down by accusing you of things that you may not have done, but it's he said, she said. And if enough evidence mounts against you, now you're in this position that you could be facing 10 years in prison. And then daddy ain't gonna be coming home for 10 years unless you got good behavior. He could have been in jail for life. He wasn't thinking, you glad he's coming home to his children, but he wasn't thinking about that. See, one of the ways I know I keep coming home to my children is I don't engage in debaucherous behavior. See, I lay next to my wife, my one flesh, my bride. And my needs are fulfilled there. So if anybody accuses me of anything, they're going to have a hard time because I'm at home every night. I'm not hosting baby oil freak offs. See, this is Christians, we're called to endeavor to live a quiet life and mind our own affairs. Right? We'll have peace that way. I won't have to worry about being accused of the things that Diddy was accused of. So when Boosie says, I'm glad that this mogul got out because he did so much for hip hop, what has hip hop done for the black community? So he's done so much for hip hop. And again, if the man is innocent of the charges, I'm fine. I'm not guilty of the charges. I'm fine with him being released. But let's not make him out to be a saint or a martyr because he was wrongfully accused. Are we serious? Because he's done so much for hip hop and his children may not. I don't care about. No. Whatever. This guy is my goodness, he is. Holy man. And I get it. Again, if you want to support Diddy getting out and justice being done, fine. But don't the argument that he's somehow a mogul that black people need to get behind because you hate seeing black moguls being taken down, why wouldn't this mogul just live an upstanding life and not involve himself in that sort of debaucherous behavior, which would exonerate him based on his character alone? Keep yourself unstained from these type of activities. It really isn't that hard. Now, again, the corruption in the court system notwithstanding, but Diddy put himself in this position. So, do I have sympathy for? No, absolutely not. No sympathy whatsoever. Not at all. Why would I? Doesn't make any sense. Right? People celebrate. Now, I'm going to move on. Yes. And again, the whole, he did a lot for hip hop. Nobody cares. The world would be a better place without hip hop. There, I said it. And I know with me saying it.
And you ain't black.
I ain't black. All right, I know. Hip hop has not pushed the world forward from a cultural standpoint. And when I say culture, I mean from the Latin cultus, which means to cultivate or cause to grow. And I mean to grow in knowledge, skills, virtue, and the like, to create society. A society founded on hip hop, just go to the ghetto and see what it would look like. And I don't want to live in that kind of society. Okay? The world would be better without it. All right? Now, so, Jimmy Swaggart's legacy. So, recently, pastor and televangelist Jimmy Swaggart, 90, passed away. Right? He was recently found to be sick, and he had, he passed. He succumbed to his illness. Okay? Now, Jimmy Swaggart has a very, very polarizing legacy. He grew up in that the televangelist generation. I have a book here that specifically talks about him. It's called Amusing Ourselves to Death by Neil Postman. It was in 1984 was published, and by Neil Postman, and it reads it reads prophetically today. And he mentions Jimmy Swaggart here. I'm going to read this. Jimmy Swaggart is a somewhat older styled evangelist. Though he plays the piano quite well, sings sweetly, and uses the full range of television's resources, when he gets going, he favors a kind of fire and brimstone approach. But because this is television, he often moderates his message with a dollop of ecumenism. For example, his sermon on the question, "Are Jews preaching blasphemy?" begins by assuring his audience that they are not, by recalling Jesus' bar mitzvah, and by insisting that Christians owe the Jews a considerable debt. Right? So he's been talking about, he's been in the eye of Christianity for quite some time. And Neil Postman does a great job of highlighting the fact that when the television came about, the church became less about the focus on Christ and his body and blood, and it became a cult of personality. That's why you see pastors today. I'm the lead pastor here. I'm the lead pastor here, right? I'm the lead pastor here. Okay? Now, I'm the lead pastor here. You'll hear that a lot. Okay? Now, unfortunately, we're so steeped in this mindset that we don't even remember as evangelicals a time before church was a cult of personality. Because of television, because we changed the way we used to be people of print, and now we're people of media. We consume information differently. Jimmy Swaggart is one of the first, he and Billy Graham are some of the first televangelists that rose to prominence, and we've seen the continued promulgation of celebrity pastors, and they're rising and falling. And I believe that it's a clear indication that this model is not a godly one. That the celebrity pastor, whether he be a local celebrity or a national celebrity, this model is not what Christ Church is supposed to be about. Now, Jimmy Swaggart, y'all know he's famous for, this is his first response after being caught. So let's look at this. I have the, all right, so Jimmy Swaggart, we're going to go here, right? So 1998, right? Prostitution scandal. So he was caught once, right? And then he was caught again. Now we're going to look at it 3 years later, was caught again in Los Angeles. Now let's look at his first response, and then I'm going to tell you what his second response is. And then we're going to talk a little bit about this, right? Okay. So this is Jimmy after his first being caught the first time.
Sinned against you, my Lord.
Well, let's start from the beginning.
I have sinned against you, my Lord. And I would ask that your precious blood would wash and cleanse every stain until it is in the seas of God's forgetfulness. Thank you. Thank you. And God bless you.
Yeah. All right. Now that was his first response. But let's look at the second one. The last time he was caught in 1991, this is what his response was. Right? The Lord told me it's flat, none of your business. He didn't confess this time. He didn't confess that time. So what happens, he becomes emboldened by him getting around it the first time, right? So if no real discipline is enacted, they keep, this is what happens when I keep talking about this. The leaven of sin, if it's allowed to permeate the body, you have this man, Jimmy Swaggart, who was like, well, I'm untouchable now. I'm untouchable. Right? I can slang, right? I can go do what I need to do, right? I can do it. Yeah. Sir. And then he becomes bold and brazen. He's like, well, the Lord told me it's flat, none of your business. This statement right here has been followed by so many lies. So many lies. The Lord told me. You hear somebody saying that? I'm automatically on alert.
Why you always lying?
I'm assuming that you're lying. I'm gonna have to see the light and some resurrection in when you start talking about the Lord told me. We not doing this. That's not how any of this works. If somebody tell me that, I'm automatically thinking, well, you lying. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So that's not what we're gonna do. All right. So his legacy has been stained. And this is what he's known for now. And so it has to be, we have to guard ourselves. Paul even talks about this. He said, I beat my body into submission lest I be disqualified. Jimmy Swaggart was disqualified years ago. The first one should have been enough to sit him down for good. But then he doubles down and does it again. And who knows, he's out of the public eye now. He could probably have been doing it multiple times. Right? Unfortunately, we don't know this, but right, he needs to step away from ministry for a time of healing and counseling, and then they come back to ministry, ministry work. Because for the most part, and one of the reasons why you'll see this happening so often is that these men who are in ministry are unqualified to hold a real job. They don't have any skills besides milking a flock for money. I just want some money. They just want some money. That's it. And so, yeah, when they come back, they're admitting, well, I couldn't make it in the real world. So I need to come back to the church where I can get that easy money and influence and where people don't ask questions. All right. Yeah. And right. Exactly. That, like he said, that's exactly those were the times that Jimmy got caught. We don't know how many other times he was doing it. Those were just the times that he got caught. All right. So now we're gonna move on to some liberal lefty fatigue, right? Let's listen into let's listen to this one. This one's gonna be fun. I think this one's fun. Look at this. We've got, going back to our leftist fatigue, right? We've got Shakira, right? Her hips might not lie, but her lips are about to do it.
For an immigrant in the U.S., it means living in constant fear. And it's painful to see. I just hope that they can be treated, and that we all can be treated under principles of equity and freedom. Those same principles that shaped this nation and so many other big, powerful nations in the world have been shaped by the hard work of immigrants. What I worry the most is that this country, as well as many other countries that have issues with immigration, find a humane solution to those issues.
So they always talk about equity, empathy, and the like, but never the rule of law. We have immigration laws, and people are violating the laws. That's the issue. And we need people that would stand up and say that. Because they're always going to try to pull at your heartstrings. We need a compassionate and humane policy. Okay, we will ship you back in a humane way. The Alligator Alcatraz is for the worst of the worst, to make sure that they don't try to escape. But for the rest of you, you will be given a nice flight back to wherever you came from. You'll get there faster than it took for you to get here. The flight will be faster than the drive. That's humane enough. They want selective enforcement of the law. That's what they mean by humane. That's what they mean by equitable. That's what they mean. We have to parse the words that they're using, because just like the woman's right to choose, well, that's to choose what? That's the next question. Define your terms. Right. And if they want them here, right, pay for it. Right. So why is she afraid? People know that they know who she is. She says being in constant fear. Why? You weren't in fear until Trump won. Y'all were living high on the hog. All the immigrants were living like they were you. Get free meals and luxury hotels. They were coming over here so they could live like Shakira, right? That's what they want. They want to come, right? Come on. Thank you, Joshua Bennett, for subscribing. I appreciate you. So yeah, you're living it, but this is the same tactic, right? They do the same thing. It's always fear. Black people, y'all gonna be next. They're gonna
put y'all back in chains.
They're gonna put y'all back in chains, or they're gonna send y'all back to Africa. If Africa is so great, why wouldn't that be a problem? See, this is one of the things I can't figure it out, because the left will tell us, and black people will tell us, that the motherland, we should want to go to the motherland and be a part of that. Now I'm going back to Africa, but when they say they use the threat of being deported back to Africa as a bad thing, how do we square in that circle? Either Africa is a great place to be, and y'all be like, "Hey, I'm getting a free trip to Africa, deported and going back to the homeland, to the motherland." All right. Boombaye. Right? But no. Because they can't keep these competing ideals. It's cognitive dissonance. And so the same fear. Immigrants, constant fear. It's always, you got to fear Trump. Not if I'm legal. I was born here. I have citizenship. Both of my parents were citizens. My grandfather, or my great-grandfather, was born during slavery. So I'm 2 generations back. My people have been here for the long haul. So I'm not worried. I don't walk around here in constant fear. See, the left will want us to walk around here with Jim Crow level fear. That's what they want us to do. That's what they want. They want us to walk around here with Jim Crow level fear every day, thinking that we're about to get strung up by a white man somewhere. Somebody's lurking to string you up, right? Uncle Rucker's no relation, right? And then people, they say Trump don't like me. I don't care. I don't need Trump to like me, guys. I don't walk around thinking about whether Trump is thinking sweet nothings about me, right? I'm not doing that. Like, I wonder if he thinks of me. Wonder if he thinks of me. Am I on his heart? Am I on his heart? I wish, I hope and pray that he thinks of me. Because Biden loved me, right?
And you ain't black.
Oh, wait. Biden questioned my blackness if I didn't vote for him. Biden didn't love me. Oh, did Kamala love me?
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Oh. So none of them love me. Oh, there it is. Oh, I can sleep at night. Politicians don't love. Oh, there you go. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you, doing work. Thank you. I appreciate you. Now let's get to the grown-up business of policy. How about that? Instead of worrying about whether or not somebody likes me. Right? Like the paper, right? You write it. Do you like me, Trump? Yes, no, maybe. Circle 1. We're not in 5th grade. Grow up. Like this is insane that people come here thinking about, oh, Trump doesn't like you. You should be worried. Trump don't like you. Oh my goodness. Y'all really sit around thinking about that kind of stuff, huh? Wow. Well, I guess. I don't know. All right, so the left is always lying. Y'all know that. Let's keep talking about it. Here we go again. Right. Here we go again. The left is always lying. Here we go. So
have a Democratic Socialist elected as mayor of New York City.
No, you agree with Pete that he is a communist then?
He's not a communist.
He's a socialist.
He said seize the means of production.
He's a socialist.
He is not a communist.
I'm not a socialist, but he calls himself.
He's using the language of the Bolsheviks, is he not?
He's not. He's a socialist, not a communist.
Seizing the means of production?
That's called socialism, not communism.
Use that the USSR and Stone Dormer debaters. That's where you hear that stuff.
Everyone coming up next.
Have a Democratic Socialist.
Right, they're trying as best they can to sanitize Mamdani's words. But the man admits that he hates, that he has issues with capitalism, and he wants to seize the means of production. He said this on multiple occasions. He says our ultimate goal is to seize the means of production. What do you, and they're just continuing to try to sanitize his words. He didn't really mean that. What he meant was, well, can we just we don't need you to translate what he meant. When he said that he wants to shift the tax burden to whiter and richer neighborhoods, we can just believe him that he wants to tax white people more. Right. I mean, again, we could just believe them, right? We could just believe them. And I think that's what we're going to do, right? Those of us who are watching Mamdani, we're just going to believe him. When he says he wants to socialize the grocery stores, when he wants to shift the tax burden to the wealthy, when he wants to socialize pretty much anything he can get his hands on, that he wants to make it so that those policies that he's trying to enact that are socialist by nature, he's not going to be ashamed or apologetic about trying to push them to the forefront of his candidacy, and that he shouldn't be, because he wants to be honest about his socialism, because he thinks that's the way he's going to win. So we can just believe him. I'll just believe him. That's what we'll do. How about that? We'll just believe the man the way he says, right? Now, this may be a positive thing or a negative thing, depending on how you view this lady. But look at this information. New 2028 poll has our favorite black candidate polling at 45%. Isn't this awesome? It's amazing, right? We might get another Kamala Harris run. She might run against Vance. That might be interesting, I think. What do you all think? I mean, I'm interested to see her debate J.D. Vance. That's going to be political theater, right? Man. I'm looking at this and thinking, but here's the sad reality. She could possibly win. Depending on the next 3 years, she could possibly win. The woman got 70+ million votes the last time. Woo-wee. That's a harsh reality, that we have that many people in the world who ignored her word salading, who ignored her ineptitude at the border. She was tasked with being the border czar. Ignored her inability to take a position and hold it and to be consistent. They looked at that person and said, yes, she deserved my vote. We are as a nation, we've got so much work to do to undo the indoctrination of this loony leftist cult. Well, that is, she is a drunk too. That was also one of the things. But we've got to take it. And then she's not right. She's right. She's not black, right? The Joe should have said that to her, right?
And you ain't black.
You ain't black. Right. That would have been a perfect time to just turn around and look at her and be like, you know what? You ain't black. Right? You ain't black. Right? Yeah. Right? Now, whew. Let's see. We got Harris on top. We got, oh man, I'm looking at this. I don't want to talk about her. I've got some other things. And thank you, Benny Ruff. Thank you. Okay. Yes. I'm going to move on from Harris. I was going to talk about Charlize Theron, and I had some WNBA stuff in here, but Tommy Lauren was talking crazy. Nancy Mace was doing stupid stuff. Yeah. She's even though she purports to be whatever, she's an embarrassment. So I got to get back to this. we're gonna talk about this because this has been a staple of the show. Because I gotta keep highlighting this so that people understand that we're not supporting what we see here in this culture. Let me get rid of some of these tabs as we switch up. Oh, Shakira. All right. So let's see. We got some Black Fatigue stuff to talk about. Okay. Now let's look at these two women and discuss their attire. Right. So this young lady here. Now I'm going to keep it. But she decides. She says a new teacher reacts to people saying she's inappropriate for her shape after she started her first day at school. Y'all remember what teachers used to come to school dressed like, with nice flowing dresses that, if they had a nice figure, you would never know, but we didn't even look at our teachers like that. But it seems like these days, these young black women and young women in general, I mean, we got a lot of these cases have been going on. I don't know if you all keep up with that, but I like to watch Law and Crime Network, and with all of these recent scandals with teachers bedding their students. I'm going to say bedding because you get rid of, we don't want the YouTube police to come after. But we see this over sexualization by black women where they're trying to accentuate their bodies, and it seems like there is that their personality is their backside. Yeah, it is everybody, but it seems. Let's look at this.
So I did not expect this video to go viral, but yes, this was my first day subbing. I did sub 1st, 4th, and 5th grade. I was a music teacher that day. Everything was pretty cool, pretty calm, collective. They were happy that I came to fill the position. My outfit was very casual. I was covered from the neck to my feet. So for the haters, call and get my mom. So I did not.
All right. Now this is an epidemic because she's not the only one. There have been, and this is so common, right? So common, right? And Tommy Sotomayor kind of aggregates a lot of this, but this is a security guard. This was earlier last year, sometime last year. I remember this video coming, but round of applause, baby, make that. Let me do that. But then why are you accentuating it? Because that's essentially, is that your personality? Why is it in every video and in every picture that they turn around and they show you what their assets, right? So, but this is a normal pattern of behavior for young black women these days. 304 culture is absolutely correct. Because they look at themselves as bodies to be used. That the best thing about their personality is how big their rear end is. And you don't have much. Do you have anything else to offer besides a big rear end and fake hair, lots of makeup, bad attitudes, overweight? What about a gentle and quiet spirit? How about that? Why are we? But again, the reason why they do this, is because they are rewarded for it. They're rewarded with the gaze of the type of men that they want to attract. And so those men look at her and they desire her, and she gets all the praise, right? So, but this behavior needs to be censored. But again, because we have that silent majority that won't say anything about it, and they'll continue to affirm this type of behavior. Both of these women, they'll affirm it. Girl, go ahead. And it's women, but they're men who want to use them for their body, right? But it's the same playbook. You can go over and over and over. And Tommy just keeps posting them Oh yeah, I blame the men too. Yeah, I blame the men too. I appreciate you doing work. Yeah. Right? They blame the men. You can blame the men for giving them the attention. Sliding in the DMs. Right? Right? Brother Caleb Collins says it. He's a young man, young brother who has to deal with this kind of, this is exactly what I'm grateful I'm married and my wife doesn't post her body online. She's not looking for the gaze of other men. Yeah. So I got me a good one. Grateful for that. But man, this is a big problem. All right. So I wanted to talk about this one yesterday. Did y'all see this story about this influencer who decided to steal some glasses from the Galleria?
Playing with me.
Don't play with it.
Damn, feel me?
Don't play with it.
A few moments later.
That's him over there running from the cops, and he falls onto the hockey rink.
His ankle came off.
Legs broke. Trying to run. Can't run with broken legs. Over some glasses. And he's trying to stop his life.
What the hell?
Oh my God. Whoa, tripping. Bro just fell from up there, bro. Tripping.
Over some glasses. You about to have a long road to recovery. Them legs are not gonna work right ever again. Oh boy. And so I mean, whoo, thank you, Bookworm. I appreciate you, right? And so people are complaining. I didn't make him do this. I'm not going to the mall and stealing glasses. Right? Wow. Yeah, he had right, Michael. He had his he had his 15 minutes of fame. Now, if you say anything about the fact that it's a certain demographic that keeps promoting this type of behavior, white people, I'm gonna tell y'all know what y'all gonna hear. That's racist. That's racist. Y'all better stop that. Y'all can't recognize patterns. You can't recognize patterns. He broke his body for some sunglasses. Exactly. I mean that is the very definition of a fool. I'm not jumping off of a second story. No. Oh boy. So we're talking about black fatigue. Just looking at some videos about that trending topic of why people keep recognizing this specific demographic of people that keep promoting this ratchet behavior. Yeah. Let's see. We got a couple more things, right? So this is also a common statement by a lot of black women. Tommy, I'm gonna have to give Tommy a shout out because I got like 4 of his. But this lady, he says, can someone please explain why black women are always saying that someone got them effed up? Right? And we talked about this yesterday. I'm gonna bring those stats back again.
All this shit, y'all got me fucked up, bro. Y'all really got me fucked up. Y'all got me fucked up.
She big man.
He's like, she big man, right? But this we saw the video yesterday where the young ladies were told they were put out of the club, or they wouldn't be allowed into the club because they were too dark and too thick. And then you see this video coming out where this lady is having a full-on tantrum about God knows what, but she's thick, right? And we talked about the link between obesity and anger and irritability. And people are recognizing trends, and they're going to start to see this and say, you know what? Probably shouldn't let you into our upscale club or our nice club. You fit the description. I know some people are like, what? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Right? How dare you? Right? But this is insane. Like we've got so much, and then we've got this other situation here. Thank you to everybody that's subscribing. Right? You see this. Let's look at this one. All right. Let's look at this one. This is not Tommy Sotomayor. We're gonna give Tommy a break. But all the links will be in the description. But let's look at this one, right? Okay, this is a text interaction between a young lady and a young man, right? Like people, yes. Okay, so you have to keep dealing with this attitude out in public, and you're seeing this, and people are posting it, right? And people are tired of it. People are tired of it. So that's why the fatigue is about being tired of what is commonly classified as black community behavior or black behavior. And we're seeing it so much in the black community. All right. So now, this lady says, hey, Quan, thank you for looking at my car. How much would it be to replace the engine? I'm a single mom of 6. So hopefully you don't charge me that much. Hey, the cost to replace the engine in your Cadillac, it'll be $5,375. That includes parts, labor, and fluids. Right, exactly. Right? Because people are tired of this attitude, and a lot of even black people are tired of it. Right, that's it right there. I'll leave that up there. So, Mr. Brother, that's your answer right there. Okay? Now. Yeah, ratchet, YN, it's all the same. Exactly. Right? So, now. So, she says, wow, that's really expensive. I don't have that kind of money. But I was thinking I could pay you in another way, if you know what I mean. Okay? He says, I appreciate the offer. Good on you, brother, because he's about to... Okay? But I don't mix business with pleasure. That's really unprofessional. Don't simp. Don't simp, brother. Don't simp. Well, that's too bad, because I got some good... I'll take my business elsewhere. Wow. Yeah. Brian says that don't stop defending people who don't respect you. I'm not. I won't defend these black people. They don't respect me. They've been on here calling me all kinds of coons and Uncle Toms and sellouts. You're right. I shouldn't. I should not. And I'm not going to defend them. I'm going to call their behavior out because they don't respect me. You're right. Come on. I'm going to tell it like it is, right? I'm going to tell it like it is. Right. Exactly. I'm going to tell it like it is. That's it. That's it. Amen. 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 Right? Amen. Now, eventually what's going to happen is somebody's going to threaten me and it's going to be like, what? Oh, no.
I'm in danger.
Right? Because I don't agree. But I'm never going to call people out of their names and sink to the lowest common denominator. I'll let them call me all kinds of names in the chat. It helps them. It makes them feel better about themselves to call me that. So I'm just, I just let them go. Let them have their way, right? Let them do it, right? In the chat, all right? Yeah, right. I mean, I'm glad. I'm proud of that Quan for not falling for that, because too many people would simp for her. And she's got 6 kids. 6 kids. Now, I'm going to show you what somebody said right underneath here. Okay. Let's see. Right. Look what MD Persons said right here. 6 kids, and she think that busted is worth 5,300. Inflation is crazy. 304-flation exactly is what it is, right? So they really oh man. Like that thing's been open for business. 6 kids. A single mom with 6 kids. Now we're not going to speculate on how many baby daddies. Okay? We won't do that. We won't do that. Maybe we will. It might be more than one though. It might be more than one. It might be. I'm just gonna say. Yes. All right. And so look, black fatigue is just a reaction to what has been happening over the past 6 to what is, I would say, like maybe 12 years since Obama's presidency, maybe longer than that. No. But it's just a reaction to all of these, like just continuing to push the stereotypes and the racism against white people, that it's okay to be racist to white people, openly racist toward white people. That's the only group where if you're openly racist towards them, you get praised instead of censured. So this is black people's solution to the problem of what they believe as white supremacy is it's essentially hatred of white people on a mass scale. And so they think, well, they did it to us, so we should do it to them. And that's how you think you're going to solve. So, and again, remember so they always talk about Martin Luther King, but they don't really believe his message of turn the other cheek. And I'm no Martin Luther King fan or, follower, adherent. But he said, judge them not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And recently, white people have been doing that. And that's why this exists. Because I get judged by the content of my character all the time. And when I'm around people, in my public life, people judge me by the content of my character. And I'm fine with that. Because I'm trying to be a man of high character. I'm not perfect, but I try. And then he talked about being peaceful and not being given over to hatred. And he did this when there was open racism and codified racism. He said these things then. There are no codified racist practices that we can look to right now, like Jim Crow laws. And these people today can't seem to enact the same practices of the civil rights leader that they say is the most important one, right? So here's the question. Is discrimination better is discrimination better or worse today? Right? Are there more racist laws today or in the 1950s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s? 100 years later, almost, from the 30s, right? Are we more racist as a society or less racist as a society? When it comes to racist practices, you can't legislate people's hearts. You can't stop them from feeling a certain way about you. But the laws can be equal and treat everyone with the same amount of dignity, honor, and respect. Justice can be blind, right? Now, are our laws more racist today or less racist today? But Democrats want us to believe that we're under the same level of oppression as we were during segregation and Jim Crow. That you say something wrong to a white person and you could get lynched. It's actually the opposite now. If a white person says something wrong to a black person, they're liable to get the brakes beat off of them by multiple black people. And so this is why you have black fatigue. You can go online and just, there are aggregators on X, on TikTok, that will show you all of the fights of the day, right? Black people attacking white people. And we're like, well, where's all the other racism? Where is it? Like you would see if there was actual racism going on, there wouldn't be enough news coverage from the left to show it. They couldn't do it, and they couldn't cover it enough. If you could actually find some real racism going on today, they'd love to find it, but it's getting harder and harder. Well, it's easy if you look at racism towards white people. Yeah, that litters social media. But why can't you find it the other way around? You can't find as much of it, right? You'll have a lot of assumed racism. Yes. Oh, I'm assuming that everything you looked at me wrong. That's racist, right? Everything. But again, it's easy to to find racism when everything is racist. Everything's racist, right? You ask me to quiet down in a restaurant. That's racist. You ask me not to come into your apartment complex and have a party when I don't live there. That's racist. You ask me not to park. Here we go. You ask me not to park in this place where the owner told me to watch and not allow people to park there. I simply asked them not to park in our driveway.
What's up? What's up?
No, I want to know.
Who's going?
Call him and do something. Call him and do something, my nigga.
Call who?
The law like you want to.
Oh, I will. But the owners don't want anybody parked in the driveway. Huh?
We keep eye on this shit, bitch. You don't.
I don't need you to.
You don't own it. Pussy ass nigga.
What, are you going to break into my house?
It's not yours. It's not yours. Stop saying it's yours.
I represent the owner.
You're not the owner.
But I represent the owner.
You don't represent the owner.
But I do.
You work for the owner. You don't represent him, nigga.
I represent him. Trust me.
Recording this shit with your ugly ass, huh?
Go ahead.
Right? But this is perfectly normal. Don't judge them by the content, by the color of their skin, though. You just judge them by the content of their character. Listen to them. You don't represent the owner. You work for him. That is exactly what, if he works. That's what I'm saying, Michael Wilbur. Work, represent. How are those? What? He's a representative. He's there to represent the owner. Hey, I don't know. Maybe sometimes it's hard. English is a hard language. A lot of people say that it's a hard language. I appreciate you all for liking. I don't know. Maybe I again, because I'm not.
And you ain't black.
I'm not black. So maybe I don't understand the social pressures and the pathologies that plague these people that cause them to behave this way. I don't walk around, hating the white man. I don't do that. I take people for who they are and what they present to me. I give everyone the opportunity to prove to me, just like I want to prove to them that I'm the type of person that they can respect. So I just don't understand what it's like to be black in America and to be under so much oppression. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. So again, that makes me not black, and I get it. I understand. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it. Fine with not being black. Okay. I've been told, look, we got one more thing and then we'll be done. Let's see. We had that one. We got that. We got that. Yeah, I think, no, I'm going to leave it. Well, maybe we got one more. We got one more. I think this one be funny. This one might be funny. Okay. This trend has been, this has been a really interesting trend to watch happen, because we'll be done at 2 hours. But what is going on?
Get a gift bag and some more other stuff.
So she's going.
It is a lot of traffic today, y'all.
What is this trend?
It feels good being the baddest bee. Here we are. So their gift bag selection is ugly. Don't know which one I want to get. Guess I'm just gonna go with this plain blue one. Some tissue paper. I also need to get a cake pan, and I need to get some Tupperware, some reusable Tupperwares. If I could find a damn kitchen aisle. Oh, here we are. I don't know if I want to get these ones. And get this size too. And these smaller ones. Probably should have got a buggy. Got my cake pans. It feels so good to be a bad bee, y'all. Like a bad bee, just strutting your stuff through the store. Like,
all right, so talk about, okay. She's bad. Right? Now, what is this trend? Y'all help me. I don't understand this trend. I've seen eyelashes. But I don't understand this level of eyelash. I've never seen anyone with eyelashes like this. And then I don't understand this mindset of being this baddie, right? Because this is happening because I think, what's her name? Leonardo Jonie is a comedian. And she's been making the rounds recently. And there have been a lot of people that have been making the rounds discussing this epidemic of women who are below average in the looks department, propping themselves up to, believe that they're much better looking than they are. And I don't get it. I'm a below, in my mind, I'm a below average looking man. I really don't care about looking good. I want to provide, and I want to be a protector and a provider for my family. But maybe, women, their beauty is an asset, right? And so maybe if you delude yourself enough, you may get someone else to believe, like some man may believe that you are top tier. I don't know. I really want to know what this phenomenon is. Because when people call me names and talk about my face, I'm like, yeah, well, I don't really think I'm that good looking anyway, so I don't care. Like I'm not getting on here because I think I'm good looking. That's not the point of my channel. I'm not beautiful. I don't care. Right? Caleb says, it's hard to be honest. It's hard. I can imagine, Caleb, it's hard for you brothers, young brothers that are trying to get married. And this is, right? This is what y'all got to deal with out there? Yeah. Because again, men aren't judged by their looks. Well, maybe by immature women. But if I can't provide anything, if I can't take care of my wife and my kids, why would I don't care what I look like. I'm useless as a man. I need to be able to provide and protect. And I get beauty, but even this is, Like the fatigue for young black men, that this is what they have to choose from, right? They have to choose from this. This is what they have to choose. She is completely delusional about the fact it is hard being the baddest bee walking around. That's what she said. This is hard. So young black men, what do you all do when she would look at you all and say, oh no, you're not good enough for me because I'm too bad. I need a basketball player. I need somebody making 6 figures plus. And when I say 6 figures, I don't mean 101,000. I mean 3 to 300,000 and up, depending on location. This is what's going on, and we have to figure it. But then she's also the reality of the fact that she is shopping at Dollar Tree. If she was the baddest bee, somebody would have already snatched her up, had her as his main, and be taken care of. She would have people that could go and run and do that kind of stuff for her. If the outcomes of her looks were her reality, this is not her her reality is that she's shopping at Family Dollar by herself. No husband. No Zion Williamson to pay for, I don't know. Y'all tell me. I just wanted to ask that question because that epidemic, I would hate. Now, the reason why I'm asking this is because I have sons that will hopefully be married within the next 10 years. Because we're preparing them to be able to take care of families within 5 years. I want them to be able to take care of themselves and loved ones if they so desire. And if this is what's out there, we're gonna have to start a I'm gonna have to start a group of Christian parents who are raising their children the right way and trying to create a legacy and further their name and the like. And we're gonna have to try to figure out how to get our kids to meet up and arrange those meetups, and hopefully sparks will fly and the children will want to get married. I don't know. But there's a fatigue going on with black men as well, because they're having to deal with women like this. Yeah, it may have been a skit. I don't know. Who knows? It may have been a skit. But almost got to 8,000. The goal was 8,000 before the end of July. And we're already 4 away. I appreciate you all. This has been amazing. Yes, society has changed. And not for the better. Black men, if you are a black woman with a sweet, kind spirit who is, fit, feminine, friendly, submissive, you can write your own ticket, because you are a ruby, a diamond, the Bible says your value is beyond rubies. That's what I'm trying to raise my daughters to be. More valuable than rubies. Man. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, man. But anyway, y'all know the tagline. It's time for me to bounce out of here. Thank you to everybody that subscribed. Thank you to everybody that liked. Look at that. We almost got it. One more would do it. One more would do it. No, I'm just messing with y'all. All right. But I appreciate you all. Yes, like the video, subscribe. All right. We'll probably get it. We may get some, tomorrow we may come back on and we'll get it. But it's 2 days into the month and we already hit our goal. I'm not complaining. Okay. I appreciate you all. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Oh, we got it. There it is. All right. Come on. We got to do the, I know my wife hates this one, but we're going to do it anyway, right? She hates this noise and I don't blame her, right? All right. And until next time, be on the alert, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. See y'all around. Bye.